And if Katie's husband is in the arena somewhere, maybe he's got a US flag and he's going to give us a wave and a cheer or say hi somehow. I'm having a look round for him, but we're about to get underway with his wife's contest here in the arena now. She makes her way up the special ramp that's been made for the athletes, and she's escorted into the arena by her coach. And now the Brazilian makes her way to the mat. That's Deanne Silva. Heidi Moore takes her seat now and leaves Katie Davis in charge of Angelica Willems, who now escorts the American athlete to the middle of the mat, as does Sonata of Canada escorts the Brazilian to the middle. And now Chai Ling of China takes control of the contest. That's the referee in the middle. Both fighters are now standing in the middle of the competition area. Katie Davis in the white judogi with a red circle on the right arm, USA emblazoned on the back, and they call Hajime, and we're underway. Katie's ponytail flapping around behind her head, and the Brazilian attacking left-sided, but Davis just pushing that off and using her arms to keep the Brazilian out. There's another attack from Deanne Silva, but it doesn't really trouble the American, as she blocks that fairly easily. They go to the ground, and the referee calls mate, then stands them back up and brings them to the middle of the mat. 4:41 left on the clock, and calls Hajime. Davis attacks with a rather weak Haragoshi, not really committed to it yet. Looks to get the right hand over and thinking about Makikomi, but that doesn't work. And then Silva thinks about the same thing, but on the other side, and then turns out. Both fighters moving and using the whole of the mat. Davis with a little bit better there with the Ouchigari, a little bit more committed to that, just beginning to work that little bit harder in her attacks. A little bit tight maybe, and a little bit tense. Needs to relax a little bit and then really throw in one of the big attacks to come up with a score. 4:14 left on the clock as the referee restarts things. Davis attempts a drop-sided left to Anagi, but it's not very well controlled, and she ends up in an unfortunate position and an awkward position, and giving up a yuko as she's countered and put on her back. But she's strong enough to move the Brazilian out of the competition area, because she was momentarily in osaikomi. In actual fact, she was being held for 10 seconds there, but managed to wriggle her way out from left to right, as I look at it, out of the contest area, and that ended up with the referee calling mate. So yuko for the throw is being indicated now. So Katie Davis was brought down initially. They didn't give a score, but they now have. So yuko on the board for Deanne Silva. I think Davis has defeated Silva previously. She'll need to go some to beat her here. Just needs to get the right hand in a better position. Hasn't got quite where she wants it. She has now. So has Silva, though. And she ducks underneath and is caught again, this time stronger from Silva, and she lands up halfway on her back and gives up wazari. So the lead now for Silva, wazari and that yuko, but there's masses of time on the clock. 3:24, and maybe this will relax Davis a little bit, and then get her saying, okay, I'm behind, I'm going to have to go for it. She got tied up there and went over to a left-sided seonagi from the Brazilian Silva. 3:24 is plenty of time. Silva with too strong a grip as far as the referee is concerned. They're in the middle of the mat now, and the referee calls Hajime now, once she's got Silva to relax a little bit. Here comes Davis again, trying to get the right hand high up and on the collar of her Brazilian opponent, but she gets tied up and inside with her own right arm, and eventually she's able to get the arm out, the head free, and settle down a little bit. But they both wander off the far left side of the competition area, and the referee calls mate, takes hold of Katie's right arm and brings her back to the middle of the competition area where Silva awaits, and both fighters take a grip quickly, and referee is able to call Hajime right away. And now still Katie Davis tries a makikomi. This is a good position for Davis. She can throw the right leg over, but she holds on one side for too long and realizes that herself, and sportingly moves the arm back over without having to be warned about it. There would have been a warning there, but she realized the rule. Puffing a little bit now, blowing heavily, Katie Davis, as she presses home her attacks. Silva it is now who picks up the passivity warning. The referee's called mate and issues the passivity warning to the Brazilian in blue, Deanne Silva. And now calls Hajime, and we're back underway with 2:38 left on the clock. Davis looking to attack right-sided with the makikomi, and she does, but she just loses control of the right side and can't quite bring Silva down in a scoring position. And they are about 4 meters away from Heidi Moore, who's screaming encouragement to Davis as she gets to her feet, the referee having called mate, and then brings the fighters back to the middle of the mat. There's 2 minutes and 19 seconds left to run in this contest, and the referee just indicating to the fighters that they should tidy up their judogi. So Davis now undoing her belt and having to tidy things up. She's rushing it a little bit, needs to slow down, just take her time, just relax a little bit. Davis from Sacramento, California, way over there on the west coast of the United States of America. Here she is in London. What an experience she must be having here. 2 minutes 19 seconds to go in this contest. Davis looking to go right-sided with the makikomi. Can't get the right arm where she wants it, and now the Brazilian in a better position to attack, but they wander off to the far right corner of the competition area, and they go out of bounds, and the referee calls mate, then brings both fighters back to the middle. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left to go. The fighters take hold very, very quickly, and the referee is able to call Hajime almost immediately as soon as they take a grip. It's a good, comfortable grip, and they're both upright, but they wander off to the right side middle of the competition area, and the referee has to call mate again. It's 1 minute and 58 seconds left on the clock as Tai Ling, the referee from Shandong province in China, brings the pair back to the middle. They stand nice and upright, nice and relaxed, and she calls Hajime again. Nice sporting work from both these fighters. No posturing at all, and getting on with it very quick. They move smoothly around the mat, and they end up on the far side in the middle, where the Brazilian gets a big grip around Davis's high up on Davis's neck and tries a koshi-garuma, but they were already out of the area, and there's no score as both fighters get back to their feet. Davis looking red in the cheeks with the exertion, and blowing a little bit. She sticks out a tongue and licks her dry lips now, and gets prepared to do battle again as the referee brings them back to the middle of the mat, and they take hold. Both fighters ready to go quickly again, and now another good hold from the Brazilian, high up on the collar of Davis. This is dangerous for the American if she can't free herself from this, and she manages to worm out and get away from a difficult situation by exiting the area on the right side, middle of the competition of the mat. And now they're back in the middle, where they take hold quickly, and you can really see from that close-up on the shot there the redness in the cheeks of Davis after all of these exertions, and she's trying hard again to find a way to get in a big attack, but Deanne Silva at the moment has just got that little bit more energy. Heidi Moore shouting out instructions to Davis, and now she's just let Davis settle a little bit as the two fighters are back in the middle here taking grips, and the referee calls hajime, and we get back underway. Davis attacking with Ojigari, but doesn't trouble Deanne Silva. Now Davis again with the ko-ojigari this time, trying to use the grip that she's got high up on the collar to throw Silva over her right hip. But now this is really physically draining for both fighters. If anything, Deanne Silva looking that little bit stronger. 1 minute and 13 seconds to go. Has been a long time with Silva having this lead, and Davis still trying, looking for an opening, looking to go right-sided there, trying to find there. Now she's got the chance with the right arm nice and high up. There's the minute warning. Right leg goes across, and she almost has enough to bring Silva down. Just couldn't finish that off. Davis gets to her feet. Left hand in being held now by Chai Ling, the Chinese referee, as she guides them back to their start points, which she does now. One on the blue strip, and she asks the Brazilian to tidy her gi up. She takes hold of both hands of Katie Davis and just crosses them, letting Katie know that she needs to tidy her gi up, and we get a close-up shot in the camera there of the American coach, Heidi Moore, quite calmly and clearly gives some instructions to Davis and informs her that Deanne Silva has just been warned for holding on to one side of the gi, which gifts Davis a yuko. So as far as yukos are concerned now, those are tied up. But and there's another yuko now there to Deanne Silva, as Davis isn't able to stay on her feet and avoid going to ground with Silva being in reasonable control. And another yuko goes on the board. So wazari and 2 yukos to Deanne Silva. Koshiguruma, maybe you could say, but it wasn't her original intention, but that's where they ended up. 41 seconds is all that remains for Davis. She comes strong there with a makikomi, can't make it work, comes back with a big hip technique, and now another chance, but with only 30 seconds left to go, and they're on the ground now with Davis covering up, and Deanne Silva attacking from Davis's back. The referee doesn't see that anything's going to happen there, so she calls mate and stands the pair up. Davis getting to her feet now. She just manages to climb to her feet and uses her left hand just to wipe her blonde hair away from her forehead and off her face, and then the referee bringing both fighters back to the middle of the mat. There's 20 odd seconds left to go for this contest, and Davis attacks right-sided with Tayatoshi, and then right-sided with Ojigari, and one more Osotogari attempt from Davis on the far side, but they all fail. 3 really, really big gutsy attacks as time is running out. 8 seconds to go now for Katie Davis, and Deanne Silva has really fought this well here. She's stayed in the contest, stayed in the lead under good attacks from the American, as the referee asks Davis to just make sure that the belt is done up tightly for this last exchange. Davis ties the belt now, make sure it's a nice tight knot, and just drops the hand a little bit lower as the referee asks to take a better grip, which he does. Here comes the last attack, maybe one more. Time's run out, and there just isn't sufficient enough time, and there wasn't sufficient enough power from Katie Davis to get past a strong Brazilian, Deanne Silva, and that one got away from Katie Davis. A really, really sporting effort there, and a good contest. good heavyweight battle between this pair, and on this occasion, Deanne Silva takes the contest. Referee gives the decision. The two fighters step forward and bow, and then they have a handshake and a hug, and then the two corner judges come back to take hold of both fighters and lead them off the competition area and over to the waiting coaches.